Hi everybody and welcome to TensorFlow Meets. It's my honor to be chatting with Carmel Allison, Engineering Manager on TensorFlow today. So now Carmel, you do all of this outreach stuff as well as engineering management. You've had these video series on YouTube, you've done talks at conferences, and I know you did a great talk at the TensorFlow Developer Summit. Can you tell us a little bit about you, what you do, as well as all this great stuff?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm an engineering manager for TensorFlow. My team works on high-level APIs, so that's Estimator and Keras. And my talk at the Dev Summit this year was about what we're bringing in 2.0 for high-level APIs, and specifically about Keras and how that's the primary high-level API that we're consolidating a lot of the things we have under, and bringing the scale of Estimator into Keras and how we're going to be doing that in 2.0.
Okay, that's really interesting, bringing the scale of Estimator into Keras. I know there's going to be tons of questions about that. So now, one of the things that I thought was really interesting was that you had this slide where there was a spot the difference, right? You had like training a DNN, I think was in Fashion MNIST in 1.13 and then in 2.0, and there was no difference between them. So what's the real message behind that?
Yeah, so Francois Cholet, the creator of Keras, is really one of the champions of the user experience. And he's done a great job of that with the Keras API thus far. And we wanted to be able to keep that, minimize, first of all, the overhead in having to convert for people who are already using Keras, but also just to retain that simple API as we move into 2.0. At the same time, we were able to bring everything we're bringing to the table in 2.0 into that same model in Keras. So that same model works in eager mode and in graph mode. So the same one in 1.13 would be graph mode, but in 2.0 it's going to be in eager mode, which allows you to more easily debug, prototype, and all of that. It also works with distribution strategies, with feature columns, with all these different tools and pieces that we're bringing in 2.0. We wanted to make sure that same Keras API worked as it does now.
I see. Okay, cool. Now, you've mentioned distribution strategies. So one of the things is not just making it easier for the coding part of the cycle, but the training part of the cycle and being able to go big. So could you tell us a little bit about what distribution strategy is all about and how it works?
Yeah, so distribution strategies is a set of strategies, a set of ways to distribute your model. There are a number of them, including mirrored strategy, which is distribution across multiple GPUs on the same device or on the same machine. There is also multi-worker mirrored strategy, where you're mirroring across multiple machines, all with their own devices. And we've also got coming in the future parameter server strategy, which is going to be distributing asynchronously across hundreds of nodes, which is the kind of training we often do at Google. And it's really exciting to build that in as a simple API, a flexible API that works for DeepMind, for Google researchers, but also for the people who are outside of the TensorFlow repository right now. And to make it easy to use, but also really performant. There's a lot of work that's gone in under the hood to make sure that the scaling efficiency is really high, even though the code stays simple.
Nice, nice. And now this becomes available to almost anybody who wants to use it,
we
right?
hope.
You don't have to be a Googler. So now I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute because there's all this great new stuff that we've been talking about in TensorFlow 2.0. Do you have a favorite?
I think some of the things I'm most excited about are TF functions. So this is some of the magic we're bringing in eager execution, where you can actually continue to use graph style code and get the performance of graph style code even though you are in eager execution. That's one thing. Another is what I just mentioned, which is parameter server strategy. That's the way that we're going to be able to distribute some of the largest workloads we have at Google using Keras models. And I know that there are a lot of researchers internal to Google and externally at some of the largest companies we work with who are excited to be able to take the same model they prototype and take it all the way to production training and serving using distribution strategies. So that's something I'm really excited about.
Nice. It's hard to pick just one favorite, right? So thank you so much, Carmel. This has been, as always, very informative. And if you've got any questions for me, or if you have any questions for Carmel, please just leave them in the comments below. And whatever you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll be able to see the rest of Carmel's videos right here on YouTube. Thank you.